For the first time ever, I'm unveiling my secret 7-figure sales script that has helped me make over $2 million in my own online fitness coaching business. Now, there are going to be 8 milestones to the close in the script I'm about to lay out for you. So let's get into it. For number 1, we call the Preframe. This is setting the tone and becoming the leader on the sales call. And what that sounds like is this. Hey John, so super excited to chat with you today. Basically how these calls go is first I'm going to ask you some questions to figure out if I can help you, and then if I feel as though I can help, I'm more than happy to walk you through the entire program. If it sounds like a good fit, we can get you all set up here at the end of the call. Would you be ready to do that? And so that way you're letting him know that he is on a call to either purchase your service or not. Part 2 in the milestones of a close is going to be problem. And everything that I lay out to you here is going to be in order. So problem is number 2, where you're going to ask them what the roadblock has been from them hitting their goals. So that sounds like this. Hey John, and so I guess the best place to start is tell me what's the biggest challenge you're having right now with hitting this 20-pound weight loss goal I see here on your form. This way you get the number 1 challenge that he's having, and you in the back of your mind as he's explaining should be prepared to pitch ways that are going to solve his specific problem. Number 3, the third milestone is goals. Get more specific on his goals. Hopefully you guys are having your prospects fill out a pre-qualification form that they give you a little bit about the goals, but most people are just going to say lose weight, tone up, build muscle. You want to dig deeper, and that sounds like this. So John, I see here on your form you said you wanted to lose about 20 pounds. Why is that important to you? He's then going to open up a little bit. You're going to say something along the lines of, got it, and why is that important to you? How is this affecting you so much that you're willing to go and hire a coach? So usually people are going to give you the superficial goal, but you want to get so deep on a granular level so that way they can express their emotions and you have some anchoring if they give you an objection at the end of the call. The 4th in the milestone of a close script is going to be doubt. You basically just want to ask a question for them to admit that they cannot do this by themselves. And what I usually do is something along the lines of, hey John, if I'm asking you an honest question, do you feel as though if you just continue doing what you're doing for the next 3, 6, 9 months that you'd be in the same place? Or do you feel as though you know exactly what to do and you just haven't done it? The goal of this step and milestone is to get them to admit that without your help, nothing is going to change. And so what you'll often hear at the end of the call is, oh, I'll just figure it out myself, or I'm going to try for XYZ more days, then I'll reach back up. And then you can bring this back up and say, well, John, 20 minutes ago, you just told me that if you were to do this yourself for the next 3 months, you think you'd be in the same place. So let me just clarify on what you mean by that. The 5th milestone and the milestone of a close script is going to be figuring out their previous experiences. Have they ever hired a coach before? If so, how was that experience? If not, why not? Was it finances? Was it that their spouse wouldn't support them? Maybe if they did hire a coach, what did they like? What didn't they like about the previous coach? Everything they did like, you just mentioned, that's included in your program. Obviously don't lie, but if it is, make sure you mention it. If it's something that they didn't like, you say the exact opposite of what they just told you. And what that sounds like is, well, Mike, I really don't like any of the fad diets. I don't want to do keto, and I really don't want to have to put my images anywhere online. Totally understand, John. We don't do any fad diets. Everything we do here is super sustainable, and we make sure that this is something you can enjoy long term. And I promise your images don't go anywhere. And so learning from their previous experiences will help you make sure that you don't sound like the last 10 people that they just spoke to or pitch the same program on something they've already tried and failed at. Step number 6 is timing. We want them to admit that right now is an amazing time to start, because this will help you fight the timing objection at the end of the call. And so here's how you can do this. John, and if you're just being honest, do you feel as though now is a good time? Yeah, this is a good time. Got it. Awesome. Happy to hear. And just curious, why do you feel as though now's a good time? Like, why didn't you do this 3 months ago? Why not put this off for another 3 months? Why do you feel as though now is the perfect time to start? And so now they're selling you on why they think this is the perfect time and eventually going to admit the perfect program for them to get from A to Z. The 7th step is trust. Nobody buys from people they do not trust. And how do you build trust with someone that you just met? A few different ways. Here's how I like to do it. Hey John, just curious, how did you book this call? How did you find me? Well, I saw you on Instagram. Got it. And have you had a chance to look over my methods, how I'm going to get you to your goals, how I've helped hundreds of other people? I had a brief overview. Okay, awesome. And any questions about that? Not really. Got it. And have you seen any reviews, testimonials? What makes you really excited and eager to talk about my program? So they're this entire time telling you why you're the perfect fit, why it's the perfect time, why your program's gonna help them, and how it's gonna help them. All right, so now we've covered the pre-frame, we've covered the problems, we've covered their goals, we've covered doubt, we've covered their prior experiences, we've covered timing, we've covered trust. The 8th point of the sales script in the milestones of a close is gonna be the temp check. This stage is to be sure that you can cross all your T's, dot all your I's, and that you have enough ammo to handle any objections that they're gonna throw at you. So it sounds something like this. Hey John, I see here on your application that you looked over your finances, you'd be ready to go. Just quick question. We require that you give us 3 workouts per week for about 45 minutes of time. Is that something you're gonna be able to do? Yes, no problem, is what probably they'll say. And then if you wanna do an extra temp check, you can say something along the lines of, and just curious, does your spouse support you in hiring a coach? Did you have that discussion with her? Have you talked to her at all? Hopefully they say yes. If they say no, then you probably want to stop here, give a very brief overview of the program, and then reschedule for another call. But if they are go on all ends, you can then get into the pitch. And so I call that the 8 milestones of a close. It's the exact script and framework that I've used to close over $2 million in my own fitness coaching business, so I know it works. And please guys, just because I have it on the script doesn't mean that you have to use every single part. I strongly suggest you do. But if a question doesn't feel right, or if you're just saying it just because the script has it, it's gonna seem inauthentic, and it's gonna make the conversation a little bit choppy. So if you want more videos like this, shoot me a subscribe, give me a like, hit that bell notification. A lot more videos are gonna be coming out on this channel about helping you with lead generation, sales, marketing, and getting your clients world-class results. And also, I'm gonna drop a link below to my 8-step objection handling framework that's gonna help you overcome every single objection with my rinse and repeat method. So if you want the exact framework on how to handle those objections, click the link below and it's absolutely free. So make sure you're staying up to date, and I'll see you in the next video.